Hi, everyone. My name is Xiaozhuan Zhou, and today my colleague Shaylee and I will be presenting on the Green Clinic or Unit Certification Program that we've developed at UC San Diego Health. Um, and my colleague Shaylee will be introducing this program to you.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I was the climate fellow and to introduce our project. To start off, our objective of the program was to lead green operations at our medical center based on our UC Sustainable Practice Policy and Sustainable Procurement Guidelines. And so what that means is we wanted to create a healthy and sustainable community, not only within the medical center, but throughout all of UCSD Health. And so we base that off of the programs that we already have, which is Green Your Lab and Green Your Office. But instead, we focus more on the medical side, of course. So we changed our interests to 5 specific categories, which was zero waste, culture shift, carbon neutrality, water conservation, and toxic reduction. And so the entire certification program involves 5 steps, which includes conducting evaluations, preparing recommendations, delivering presentations, sharing recognition, and providing continued engagement and support to clinics and units all across UCSD Health. And depending on how they do throughout this entire process, they get certain levels of certifications. So that's kind of the broad idea of our program so far.
Next, I'll be introducing some of our project goals. First off, some of the more broad goals that we have in mind, including ensuring that the intensive 24/7 operations at UCSD Health continues to provide excellent healthcare without adding to the health, environmental, and social problems within the communities that we serve and this planet. And secondly, we want to encourage, promote, and take steps toward carbon neutrality as an important part of this fellowship. And thirdly, we want, as Shaylee had mentioned, to create a program that makes sustainable discussion, practices, and stewardship a commonplace within our community. And we've successfully launched our pilot project. So some of the more pilot-specific goals that we had in mind, including organizing resources and document templates for the current and for the future participating clinics or units, such as assessment questionnaires that we created, invitation email templates, presentation materials, case studies, and a resource master sheet, which Shaylee has created with very informative links to all the sustainability related resources. We also would like to conduct beta testing, which we have, and we will be talking later on in the results and outcome sections, where we retrieved feedback on the questionnaires that we've created and edited our materials to create a more effective program for all the UCSD Health community.
Awesome. Yeah. And then now to get into a little bit more specifics for our materials and methods. So as I said earlier, we were lucky enough to look at the Green Your Lab and Green Your Office programs and use those to help us create templates of a set of documents in Google Docs, sheets, and slides that were clinic and unit specific. And then based off of that, as shown in the poster right here, we have our 5 steps. So first it's conducting evaluations, which means that we give a 40-question assessment questionnaire to the clinic or unit that is participating. And then based on the 5 categories that I stated earlier, they answer questions based on how green or sustainable their whole situation is. And then using that questionnaire, we give them a preliminary score, and that is what their certification is. So it's based on the amount of points or the percentage of those 40 questions that they did correctly or very sustainably, which also we show right here. And our 4 different categories is platinum, gold, silver, and green. And then after that, I also wanted to mention that within our assessment, there is extra credit points based on innovative tactics that they do. Like Joyce just mentioned, how we want to promote stewardship. So this is a way for them to prove that they have gone out of their way to also be sustainable. And after the assessment, we're able to go in and walk through the clinic and unit to determine if everything they filled out on the survey was correct or not, and give them a presentation on how to do better and give some bullet points of how they can get an even better certification. And after we do that on-site visit and assessment, we give them all of those resources that we created to their specific situation and their areas of improvements and successes, so that there's continued engagement for years to come for them to continue to strive for carbon neutrality and zero waste and et cetera like that.
Awesome, thank you. And next I'll be sharing some of our initial results and outcomes. We have successfully received feedback from interested clinics or units where we had 2 stages of beta testing, with the first one having over 30 participants and the second phase with over 50 participants. We've also created a comprehensive question bank for assessment questionnaires, as we previously mentioned in those 5 categories. We've now engaged 3 clinics or units in this pilot program, and we've conducted a site visit at the UCSD Health Hemophilia and Thrombosis Treatment Center. we've certified this clinic with a silver level ranking at the moment, and we're now creating follow-up checklists for the HCTC to improve their performance in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Joyce. And then, so just to conclude, as she already stated, we successfully conducted our beta testing and launched our pilot program. And we know that just with that one single program, we are going to be able to save a lot of energy by doing simple acts such as discouraging screensavers, lowering waste by providing waste disposal signage, and decreasing greenhouse gas emissions by directing staff to make Energy Star rated purchases. And there are 130 clinics at UCSD Health. And if we're able to get all of those clinics to participate, clinics or units to participate, then it'll just get us this much closer to reaching UC's goals of carbon neutrality. And as we've been mentioning, it's just a great long line and timeline of interaction of that first preliminary action, the few things that they can take to get really certified, and then 2 years later getting certified again based on the changes that they've made. And so we really think that this program is going to be a great step on the medical side, and as the UC as a whole, to prioritize our carbon neutrality initiative and indirect ways.
Great. And some of our future goals include a continuing engagement, of course, with the HTTC clinic by facilitating staff member interactions with green practices, expanding the positive influence of our GCC program in the future, continuing and completing the certifications of the other 2 clinics that are currently participating in the pilot program. And also, we'll be launching our official GCC program in late summer or early fall of 2021. And lastly, we'll be continuing to provide useful resources to clinics or units to fulfill the UC carbon neutrality initiative and other sustainability goals that we have in mind, and in alignment with the UC campus general goals. And we thank you for your time and patience in reviewing this program with us. And we are more than excited to be launching this official program in late summer and fall. And thank you again for your time.
Yep. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the symposium.